Stream is up. I'll do my socials as well. Oh, and I guess I should drop the link in there.
Okay, here. One, three. Oh, 70?
Okay, I've just dropped the stream link. You might not need it if you are good with without the visualization. But sometimes I miss details and stuff too, right? So just ask if you're confused about something. I'm yammering on and you're confused. Yep. Amy just asked, "Are we still playing in text?" And I just verbally said, "Yep." Okay, so.
But what do you use chalk for? I really have to ask that question, but...
Sorry, did you say chalk?
I said it says chalk on the chart. That's why I was like, what are you talking? Like, why would you buy chalk?
Mark, where you're, if DMs particularly like Dungeons and Dragons DMs,
Right.
what they'll have players. The original game, what they made you do, originally, was the players would map out everything. So the best way to do that was to head to in-game map stuff. Was to have
Right.
use chalk to actually say, oh, there's a trap here, or oh, there's this here. It's a way that you can is for adventurers and for people to actually mark where that stuff is, so therefore you can't just walk across it and say, oh, guess what? Roll save because you forgot there was a trap here. Well, no, I wrote something down right here.
Right. I didn't know I didn't know that actually.
That's the purpose of in-game. That's the purpose of chalk is to literally write on the ground or on the walls to mark out where traps is or where you've been before.
Oh, right. Okay.
I
Yeah. I understand. Like in-game diegetically. Okay. I thought you were talking about mapping, and I was like, mapping with chalk. Is that really a thing?
No. You would use like if you were going to use like something like that, you would use a pencil or dry erase, or what is it? Not grease pencil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Probably,
I do. And I usually have used wet or dry erase on a battle map. And I have one time you had the players map out a dungeon, and it's really difficult to describe something in as much detail as is needed. I think for me, at any rate, because like if they enter a hallway, right, and they can't see all the way down the hallway, you need to really tell them, yeah, you moved 30 feet and you can see 30 feet ahead of you, and there is a door 15 feet on your left or whatever. And I find it's just really difficult for me to convey the measurements accurately.
Well, yeah, and that was the thing because of this. Because when originally D&D was basically made, what had happened was that they were all war gamers. The D&D descended from a game called Chivalry, which D&D specifically invented from the fan-made supplement called Fantasy for a game called Chivalry.
Yeah, wasn't it chainmail? Chainmail, right?
Chainmail.
Yeah,
I was trying to say Chivalry, but it's supposed to be chainmail.
Yeah.
But they used to map stuff on. They used to be able to map stuff for their battlegrounds and such. So it wouldn't come as a surprise as to say, oh, they knew how to do that on 1 inch by 1 inch paper, not
Right.
1 inch by 1 inch,
Yeah.
by paper divided into squares by which were 1 inch by 1 inch. So and back then that's how it was.
Yeah.
But nowadays, with how modules are written and how things are expected to be, you would usually have the DM do it, but there's still a use for chalk. All that is just phonetically the dungeon taking a piece of chalk piece and then writing, oh, we've been here. Oh, there's a trap here.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that is not something I've ever seen players use in game, and as much as ball bearings, like it's kind of a thing where it's just an old way to do it, and we kind of don't do it that way anymore.
It's not just, I think it's not just that, and it's because of that, but also because of how people are like, how the game is designed around it.
Yeah.
So like, for example, I'm a DM, I'm describing the room, doing whatever. I'm going to map it out for you, and you're going to walk into the dungeon and explore it. No one in the dungeon will actually say, oh, I'm going to use a piece of chalk and say, oh, there's a trap here, or oh, there's this here.
Yeah.
If there's some use to it, you can say, you can write stuff down, and then later when you're coming back to it and you forget, you can actually say, oh, there was a trap here.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do that and just try to make sure the DM prevents the DM from springing something on you.
Yeah.
Of course,
How's everyone doing?
Hey, Amy, what's up?
Hello.
What you all up to?
Talking about GM theory.
Cool.
Yeah, I am.
What are we playing?
Cepheus engine, science fiction, and we. If you want to use your same character, you will have to do it without the help of your compatriot, your counterpart.
Well, the thing is, we have one new person, right? And we might as well make new ones.
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
already made a new character.
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna roll some dice. It's 4 and 2, right?
Yeah, that's right.
2 for endurance, 4 for lifeblood.
All right. Well, I got a good lifeblood. Let's see. That's 17, 19, and then 2. Endurance is okay.
Right.
9. All right. And then what else do I do?
You get
let me
to
open the thing real quick.
you get to pick a career as well.
Oh yeah.
Yep. How
Can
are you?
I make one up like we did on the other thing?
Well, how do you mean?
Like you make up your own. Like I made up engineer for.
Yeah, well, I forget the rules that we used. I know there's rules in barbaric, but it might be slightly different in this, because some of them have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the careers are actually a little bit asymmetrical. But yeah, give me if you want to like pick modify a career or something, let me know and I'll.
Well, but let's see what is everybody else gonna be? I'll make
scholar.
something compatible. Okay, a scholar.
And
I have no idea what I am doing. I'm sorry.
Okay, so but
That's fine.
you've got your
What kind of
endurance and your
character do you
lifeblood,
wanna
right?
Play? Like, do you want to play like rough and tumble, savvy, smart?
I honestly have no idea. This is my first time playing this kind of character and using this website too.
Right.
So I'm a little.
All right, so yeah, we
Confused.
can help guide you. I know Amy and Smiles, as well as myself, we each have experience with this system, with the sort of free form role playing that we're doing, and it's a lot less like D&D, where everything is an ability that you use, and it has a formula that you calculate damage with, and it's more about I hate to say that in D&D you don't use your creativity, but this system will sort of it relies more heavily on the player's creativity,
The mechanics are
Right.
looser.
because I know in D&D you can absolutely be as creative as you want to be. It's just this doesn't have the backup systems that will give you the formulas for a magic spell or something like that. There isn't like a whole bunch of different ones. It's a really basic
Okay.
kind of thing. So do you have the Cepheus Quantum sheet open?
I
Uh,
posted it in the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to the website because it seemed like it would be more help to kind of read it off the website, and then I got even more confused.
Right.
And then I popped up what looks like a random character generator. So I either have no way, I thought that was wrong.
It probably is, because what most people use is a system called Cepheus Deluxe, and
Oh.
this is a simplified version of that. It's based on an old system called Traveler.
Yeah.
But there is one that I know Smiles posted. The rule set is a 2-page rule set, and that is in Discord. Oh, under the Tabletop RPGs channel, and it's a
Okay.
PDF there.
So
So if you download that, and then there'll be like a few careers to pick from, and that will have
Right.
specific specific like attributes that go with them.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can see being confused if you're trying to read like the whole manual or something all at once.
I was going through your instructions actually, because I was like, I went down the page and I started from the beginning, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't look that hard.
Oh, the instructions I had for the other game. This is not the same game. It's a different system too.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so sorry about that. I'm not sure I made that entirely clear.
It's all good. It happens. I'm not even mad. 2D. Okay. So these are the instructions for this one, if I'm assuming that correctly.
You've got the Cepheus Quantum PDF open?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 2d6 is your endurance. 4d6 will be your lifeblood, and you'll throw them, and whatever it adds up to is what you get. You can have kind of a weak character, but if that's true, like if you don't get hit, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes you'll be up against people who will hit you hard, and it won't matter if you rolled maximum on all of that stuff, because sometimes it's just kind of a roll of the dice. And let me know what your... Oh, I guess I should have a notebook out so that I can write down notes about who you are, what you are, and everything.
My endurance is a 7.
Okay. Yeah, that's...
My lifeblood is an 8.
An 8. Okay.
I have shit. Oh.
And that's fine. You know what? You You have a couple options here.
Just means one hit will kill you.
Yeah, if
Exactly.
Traveler, and Cepheus Quantum, for that matter, is a very quick, very brutal system.
yeah,
Very
Uh,
much trial by fire.
exactly,
That
exactly.
makes a lot of sense. That's why I'm not even mad. It's okay.
And
Like I got really good rolls, and it doesn't matter. Like it goes from you dying in one shot to me dying in two.
yeah, exactly.
Like that's the difference.
So you see the little career paths, and that is the
Yep.
third one. So yeah, give that a look through. There's a few stats. There's the combat, physical, social, technical, and what the hell else is there? Knowledge, right? And that's it.
Yep.
I need to make a little cheat sheet here. I should just create a cheat sheet and print it out for myself, honestly. The amount of times that we've played this and I still don't have that.
I guess I'll go with Rogue, question mark.
Rogue is good. So mark down your stats if that's what you're settling on. Then just mark down your stats on a piece of paper. And combat, it's not it's a bit hard to read this because it's not physical -2. You have a 2 stat in your physical.
Okay.
Right? So combat is 0, physical 2, social 2. You can write that down. And anything else that you're rolling, because these are added to your 2d6 roll when you are that's how all the skill tests work. You roll 2d6, you add whatever the attribute is, the like if you're rolling physical, you'll roll 2d6 and then you'll add 2 to the sum. And combat is
that makes a lot more sense.
Combat is a straight roll because it has a 0 modifier, which means you are just basically trained in combat. Anything you roll that you're not trained in is at -3, which is a handicap, to say the least.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, it's a real handicap. And then, okay, if you're settling on Rogue, you can do that and move on to the next. But if you still want to, take a look at the Belter or the or the Noble or something like that, then go ahead and pick your career, because you do get to add 1 point to any one skill that you want afterwards. Even something that you're untrained in.
Okay, so that's 11, the 13.
Take out a bunch of dice too.
I'm assuming all of the dice on this are 2d6. Am I assuming that correctly?
Yeah, there's yeah, they're all d6. They're not the damage rolls are probably, there are 2d6 damage rolls, but some of them are 1d6, 3d6, 4d6. There's even one that's 5d d6. So yeah, but it's mostly just d6 that you're using. I'm going to be using some different dice just to randomize stuff a little bit. But as a player, it's all d6.
Got it. Okay. So now that I have
All right.
So essentially, I have to use the credits to buy gear. Is if I'm assuming that essentially.
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, that's right.
I just kept the leftover credits listed in my thing.
Right, cool. So you've already spent your
Buy
credits and you've got some
fitness
leftovers, what
solver.
you're saying?
Huh?
You've already got your credits and you've spent them and you have some left over. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, about 3,045 credits.
Nice, cool. All right. So did you add a skill point, Young?
I added my skill point to my combat since my combat was a flat roll.
Right. Cool. Yep. All right. And then you're gonna be rolling the 2d6 times 1,000 credits.
So I have 8,000 credits for that because I rolled a 8 plus 8 times the 1,000.
Right. Cool. And so yeah, pick out a weapon, and you probably want to talk to the other players about buying general gear, because I know there was one when Amy, I think it was when Amy started, she had got a great roll and she just bought one of everything. So there was no nothing missing from the party, but we might not get as great a roll from you all this time.
I think we'll be good because I rolled 9,000 for my credits. She rolled
Okay.
8,000.
Yeah, okay. Good. And don't forget your little your armor. There's a little chart underneath the character creation chart. You'll want armor and a weapon because there's probably going to be some combat. We'll see. Unless you guys want to take a social kind of route, then I have what I refer to as an episode generator, because I wanted this to be really episodic. It turned out less than episodic, my main campaign, but this will be good. This is exactly how I wanted to use it, as a one-shot episode generator. So I'm going to start
Raven,
rolling that. Yes.
Can I augment a career and make the gunslinger career?
Oh god.
Because we have a rogue who's like
Yeah.
kind of more social and physical challenges. We have a knowledgeable person. My person is going to be the shooty person. She'll have a combat, we'll say a 3.
Okay.
And maybe a physical of 1, and that'll be her stats.
Right. Okay.
Just modify army.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So take 4 away from technical and add 1 to combat.
Mm-hmm.
We could say she's ex-army.
Yeah. I would like you to have a technical of 0 if that's what we're doing. So you'd have 3 combat, 1 physical, and 0 technical. So you're still trained in technical.
Which is interesting.
Okay. Combat.
Considering what?
Which is interesting, all considering, because a few of the stats only get 3 skills, and then some of the stats get like 4 skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you add up the numbers, they're not equal.
They're it's really asymmetrical.
Some better numbers, but that's okay. The system is like any systems. If you are with agreeable parties, you just augment it.
The barbaric system takes this system, this quantum version of this game, and really kind of standardizes it a bit. So it's
Barbaric and Cepheus Adam. Those are the 2.
Yeah, and they're actually compatible with each other, and which is neat.
Yep,
I like that.
I was actually thinking of just paying like $6 and just getting them. I already own like a bunch of the Black Hack stuff, so I don't technically need it. And all the Black Hack is just like a hack of zero ED&D that does effectively the same thing
Yeah.
as this, but just it just uses the original version of D&D instead of a heavily modified version of the original version of D&D. Instead of Cepheus engine, which is a descendant of Mongoose Traveler, which is a descendant of Traveler.
Oof. Keep rolling the same one that we've already done. So I'm just gonna keep rolling.
Go with
Until we get
27.
something different.
Whatever
27
27
oh
is.
God.
Do you want me to give a suggestion?
What's that?
How about a prison break?
Oh jeez. We're on a break out of prison. That sounds like every other. That sounds like fun.
I feel like I want you all to be fairly alone, without so many people who can kill you all over the place.
That's about right.
Just because of how lethal this system is, I think that a prison break would be a really high difficulty situation.
Right.
But I can just I mean it sounds like a lot of fun. I just want to make sure we can get through this in a single sitting as well. See, I keep rolling the same goddamn one. Need a new die. There we go. All right. I need a bit of a reference. So this is behind the scenes, so it's not going to be on stream. Oh, what is that? Donjon. That website. There we go.
Dungeon?
Yeah. And there's something in here that I've seen and I'm looking for again.
If you need the link to it, here you go.
I've got it now. Thanks.
Okay. The Doom funnel.
Doom funnel.
Yeah, I'll just send you a screenshot of what I found.
Let's see.
It just sounds like a cool name. Sounds very, I guess, one-shotty. Sounds like fun.
So there was God damn it. There was one specific table that had like artifacts. Like powerful artifacts. I can't find the table now. Yeah.
For Morkborg?
No, for generally on dungeon. Oh no, I found it. Never mind. And yes. To roll on that table. Oh my god. Perfect. Okay.
I just sent it to you. And
Oh, yeah,
that
I
is
see.
my alarm going off.
I don't. Um. Okay. All right, so I have need of an idea. Okay. So, does everyone have a character now?
I do.
Right. And possibly a name for your characters?
I do.
Yes.
Okay, so let's have the names. I would like to know that as the GM. And you are all going to know each other already. All of your characters.
Fair.
And then I'll give you the scenario. So Smiles, what is your character's name?
My character's name is Professor Jean Baptiste.
Professor Jean Baptiste. Professor Jean. Perfect. And Amy?
Lucy Quick Fingers McShooty.
Lucy, quote, Quick Fingers McShooty.
Yep.
And Young?
Yes.
Do you have your character name ready?
Yes. My character's name is Celeste.
Celeste. Perfect. Okay, so Amy, I had a character last night who was also a Mick character, Mick Ember, Sootsie Mick Ember, because I was a fire genasi.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. So if we have our you might want to talk about which gear you've got too. We never got around to doing that. Spending your money on gear, and I'll give you a basic outline so you know exactly what's happening before you spend all of your hard-earned cash. You've got all of this money squirreled away, and you have been a part of a pirate crew for quite a while, a small pirate crew, and they are they're bad guys, right? And you've done some stuff that's in your past that would definitely get you locked up for a good long time. So you are not innocent either, none of you. And the thing is, this pirate crew is now working towards the enslavement of an entire population of a planet, small population of people. They are trying to manufacture an artifact that will at the point of the artifact, it will quell an entire group of people. It looks like a trident, but it's got on the ends, instead of spikes of the trident, there's like 3 prongs. And on the end there are these balls of that are made out of these things called void crystals, and the trident itself will harness the power of these void crystals and send it off into a specific direction. Void crystals have the power to create in living things a mind state of suggestibility, and this is how they're going to take over a population and enslave them. And you've seen this used before, but not on this scale, right? So they are going to manufacture one of these balls, because every time they use it, it seems to shatter one of the void balls, right? So they need to create a new one every single time, and you can go and you can mine the void crystals out of specific planets. They're often like hotly contested planets because these things are very valuable. They are also used in warp core, not warp core, void core engines for faster than light travel. So they're very, very valuable. And you are on this crew. There is something you want. So you want to break away from the main crew. I don't know if you want to steal the trident and use it for yourself, or if you are trying to stop the enslavement, or what it is exactly you're doing. But as a group of 3, you are trying to change the outcome of this somehow. So I'll let you go ahead and buy up your weapons and armor and gear, keeping in mind that a vac suit is very very valuable, and they might, in fact, on the ship that you're on, because you're still on the ship, they might have some vac suits there.
Oh, that'd be good.
Right? So you don't necessarily need to spend money on a vac suit. But if you want...
Well, they're 9,000 credits, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just about to say.
But you might, like, they're also... It's a pirate crew. So you take them, someone's going to notice. Right? Someone might notice and say, "Hey, where are you going?" Or whatever. So... with that scenario, I will let you go ahead and buy the weapons, armor, general gear that you'll need. And there's also shuttles on this ship that if you took one, you could get away from the ship, or there's some with cargo bays on them. So yeah, go ahead, grab your gear.
Okay.
So what are you guys thinking?
I have a good number of credits, so I'm gonna buy a bit of everything.
Okay.
Same here.
Yep.
Since I have a little bit of technical, I'll buy a tech toolkit. And I've got
I think my problem is that since this is my first time playing, I'm thinking about survival. That's the way I play in D&D. So I think about survival and like, oh, someone should pick up a med kit just in case someone dies, so someone goes down or something. That's at least my thinking.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable. I think survival should be on the top of your mind, especially if you're going to be going against your own crew. It's like a little mini mutiny that you're trying to pull off.
Oh, sounds great.
I mean, it could be a full-scale mutiny if you want to go the social route and get everybody on your side.
I mean, I have enough social for it, so technically I could. But we're not. But I want to try to let's try avoiding that, because I really don't think it's necessary for a full-scale mutiny. I mean, we could, but where's the fun in that?
Yeah, you could also be stealthy, or you could... Oh, well, I would actually suggest against full frontal combat. but yeah, you could still try it. You want, if you got lucky, you could take down the whole ship. The crew's not that big. I'm going to actually roll for how big the crew is.
Because I'm a rogue, I'm gonna buy lockpicks.
Ooh.
Just because.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's necessary.
That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna pick up a med kit just because, I don't know if anyone's gonna go down, but I'd rather have it just in case.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
got
some
an
rope.
Omni computer. I'm thinking about. I'll get a multi-scanner too, since I have enough
I
credits.
have a multi-scanner and Omni computer and comm and breather and tech toolkit and LED and rope and medkit and field rations, SMG.
So essentially, you got one of everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Then I'll just buy another weapon.
Is it bad that I bought an SMG?
It's funny that I just find it funny that in both games the people that are like the smartest in their party is practically the ones over prepared for everything.
Yeah, the SMG is has a cool little thing on it. It says auto beside it. It means you get two shots per combat round, rather than like the shotgun that will only get one. And so assault rifles are auto, Gauss rifles are automatic as well. Gauss rifle is basically a rail gun. It uses magnetism to shoot a projectile. I need a pirate captain, don't I?
So 2d6, add the results, and then the skill die modifier. Oh, that's the basic mechanic. Okay.
Right. Know what I'm gonna do for the pirate captain. Nice name. It's a good name. Does anyone have a suggestion for a pirate captain? I could go
Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan. Of course, God. Captain Morgan.
Combat, physical knowledge.
Perfect. Captain Morgan. That's awesome. And you know him as a really smooth operator, right? You know, he can talk himself out of a lot of situations. He's talked past being boarded by officials. He is good with he carries a whip on him. It's like a light whip. It's got a filament on it that can cut through stuff. And he also has this pistol with such a long barrel that he needs a special holster for it. And it's the barrel is like I'm gonna say between 2 and 3 feet long. It's ridiculous, but he's a really good shot with it, and it's not a rifle, it's a pistol. It's like he holds it in one hand. So just gonna mark down his stats. All right, perfect. that filament whip. And a ridiculous pistol. There we go. And you've seen this this pirate be pretty ruthless with people who are not acting in accordance with what he believes the standard should be. Never outright killing anybody, but certainly putting them through hell. He has locked people up in solitary with just rice gruel to sustain them. There are people who have been locked up for like months at a time this way, you know. So he's not a nice guy. He has used like he has cut people's digits off, but he doesn't want to shrink his crew by necessarily killing people. So there's that to consider, as well as far as your plan to either take over take the alien artifact and use it for yourself, or stop him, or whatever it is your plan is. And we'll say you've been in collusion for about a week, and you have discussed your plan. But now you can actually discuss it as players. What do you guys want to do? And you can ask me questions about the scenario. You're in a battleship, and you go around, and there's a big. It's an unmistakable battleship. It looks like a submarine, and there's a big skull and crossbones, a big Jolly Roger, painted on the front of it. Right? So when people see you coming, they know, oh yeah, this is Captain Morgan's ship. We should probably just say yes to whatever he wants, and hopefully he won't kill us. Like, he has there's fear to the name of Captain Morgan. It's attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you thinking? What is your instinct? What do you want to do about this this artifact and this plan that Captain Morgan has to enslave this population?
What the scholar wants to do is he wants to take the trident and study it. He sees more benefit in learning what it can do rather than hoarding it or using it against someone.
Yeah. And we'll say that you've mentioned that before, and it's been shot down. The idea that studying it is more important than using it in the capacity that it's being used now. So this is why you're in collusion. This is why you have this like small group. This is why you're in this small group trying to usurp this plan.
Okay.
And what do you think, Amy?
Well,
I have to go pick up the dogs.
Lucy
okay.
Quick Fingers McShooty doesn't care much about these people, nor whether they're enslaved or not. That's their issue.
Mm-hmm.
What she cares about is that Captain Morgan was assisted the man that killed her husband.
Oh, wow.
And she's infiltrated this crew and ship to get close to him because she's on a mission of revenge.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna write that down. Quick Fingers revenge for you said it was your husband?
Yep, he assisted the man. She's been going around slowly killing the people that helped the man, and she's gonna kill the man last.
Right. Okay. So And this is Captain Morgan is one of the people in the conspiracy to kill your husband. He's not the assassin himself, right? Okay.
Yeah, he helped.
So who? Give me a name for the assassin.
The assassin's name was was Roger Roger Henry McCree.
That is a great like Wild West name.
Yep.
Roger Henry McCree equals assassin. Perfect. And Yuri, why are you here against your captain's wishes, trying to usurp this plan, this crew?
I guess Celeste just finds this really all just very interesting, as she's just like, well, I don't really know why I'm here, to be
Right.
honest.
She's
She very much is kind of the person like, I'm just gonna turn everyone against each other just for the fun of it.
Oh wow,
She's chaotic.
Yeah, she's a chaotic shit disturber. Nice.
So I just want to turn everyone against each other just to see what would happen. Although the behind the scenes, it's like I really just want to kind of just have some fun and just see where all this goes.
Yeah, okay.
That's really the truth of it. But
You're chaos incarnate.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much.
Nice. Celeste. I'm gonna mark down a note here that she is chaotic and loves the drama of it. And the other characters knew they could get you on board just by saying, "Oh, we're going to be doing something that's going to cause some chaos in the crew, and it's going to upset, you know, the order of things." And you are on board with that. Okay, so we have our motivations. We have our captain. We have a crew. It is a crew of 26 people. I rolled for that, and I got almost the highest roll I could get on that. So this is quite a large pirate crew. For a pirate crew, but it is kind of a small crew to be piloting a battleship. The battleships usually have a full staff of like 60 people. There's going to be tons of gunners. There's going to be people. There's going to be like redundant roles so that if someone gets injured or something, they can be replaced. Not as much on this pirate crew. If you are injured, if your leg is broken, you still have to be the navigator or the engineer in the engine room, or the person who is, repairing the shuttles, or whatever it is, whatever your role is. You still
every person's essential.
Yeah, every person is absolutely essential, which makes the mutiny extra hurtful for the crew itself. So I don't know if Smiles is back yet. He said he had to go pick up the dogs, which I assume means take them out to use the washroom or whatever. But I'm going to refresh my drink, and I'll be right back. So that we can start the game properly. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. I'm back. I just brought my dogs up here because my mom was like, "Hey, could you get the dogs?"
Raven's just getting his beverage.
What kind of dogs do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
Yorkies. We have Yorkies and we have mostly French bulldogs.
Oh, that's so cute.
And we
I love
have,
those.
and we also have French bulldog puppies as well.
Oh, that's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually adorable. I love dogs. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the one animal I'm not allergic to, unfortunately, because I am allergic to cats.
And ducks. And gerbils and rats.
I have a feeling I would have I have a feeling you have a lot of animals.
We have a cat and we have 8 dogs.
Wow, that's a lot.
We used to have a rabbit or 2. And we also, we used to have rabbits. And I was just like, nope, I don't want to clean the, because if you want one thing you want to do, never get a rabbit. Sure, they may be cute, fluffy, and everything nice, but
Mhm.
but once you have them for an extended period of time, they stink because their pee smells awful. And it will stink up, not your house, but it will stink up the area where they are. So if you have them in like say the main living room, well, guess what? It's gonna stink.
Oh, that's
Unless
a little upsetting.
and they're really, you have to let them out, let them play, and do all this other stuff. So I was
Noted.
just
Well, I used to have dachshunds. They are my sister's husband's dogs. So yeah, they grew of old age, unfortunately. Um, but I think eventually I'll get my own pets, maybe like some fish or something, because fish aren't really that hard to take care of. Because with my living situation and everything right now, I don't think I would
All
be
right.
able to take care of a pet.
Hello.
Hello.
Has Smiles returned yet?
I'm here.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
He.
Sorry, my fault. Wrong pronoun. I should have said they. I normally use a neutral pronoun for that kind of thing.
No, it's no, I know because I'm a guy biologically and whatever, but
Yeah.
but every time like someone will hold over to the phone, I'll have a conversation over the phone. My voice is just light enough, or is at that middle ground between like over a phone where it's like, is it a girl or is it a guy? And then someone will say like, ma'am, calm down, or ma'am, ma'am, could you tell me what this is, ma'am?
Do you get people telling you to calm down a lot?
The one time that I did was I was working an internship and I was calling corporate to figure out an issue because I was getting really mad.
Right,
And
yeah,
I was so
okay.
excited, I screamed over the phone, yes, yes!
Oh, wow.
And they went,
Oh
ma'am.
my gosh.
Because I worked the IT department, and I was trying to kick it up to the corporate IT department to get something fixed.
Yeah.
But
Right.
something was being overridden instead, and so it was just really frustrating.
Man. All right. So it is a new day. You have woken up. You're all on the same shift. And so you comprise a good percentage of that shift. And this it's like 8, we'll call it 12-hour shifts. And you are it is a new day for you. You've woken up. You're in the same suite. You're all together here in the same suite, and that's where you sleep. There are a lot of rooms that just go unused, but tactically, you're using this suite as a in order to be together. So you all sleep in the same area, and you use the same facilities and everything like that. The crew today is arriving at a void crystal mining operation. And there is, that there is a space station refinery where they have these crystals all shaped and contained for shipment. And that's your goal. Your goal as the crew is to pick up these shipments and pick up these void crystals ready for shipments, and just take them. Just take them as a pirate. You want to go in there. You're hoping that your captain will just be able to talk them into giving them, but sometimes violence is necessary. And your ship is actually armed pretty well. So this is what we have on the table. You have used this trident. We'll call it the staff of servitude, and it's been used. The last time it was used, one of the spheres shattered, and it becomes it doesn't become unusable, but it becomes less effective when there are not 3 spheres on it. Right, so the captain is trying to get these crystals and fabricate them into a sphere that he can just put on the staff and head off to the planet that he wants to enslave. So, is there anything we'd like to do here at this stage to kind of usurp the plan? I don't know if you want to steal the staff, if you want to stop the enslavement, or what it is, but we've got an opportunity here. You can also just let it go, and we can roll for how it goes, and you'll be a part of it, of course. But if you want to get that, if you want the crew to have those void crystals and complete the staff of servitude, you can just allow it to happen. So, what are your thoughts on the situation? You're arriving today in about 3 hours.
Can I try using my social to convince someone else to steal it, and then use that and just use that as a rumor to blame someone else? That sounds really complicated. I don't know why.
Right. So your idea is that you want to get someone to take the staff and get them to take the fall, so that you don't have eyes on yourself.
Essentially, it's really just to create more chaos, and that's really what Celeste is doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's essentially what Celeste is doing at the moment. She's just gonna create some chaos because she just wants to see where it goes.
Okay, so we've got that plan. And if you guys want to talk about that, that's cool. But if you also have individual plans, go ahead and voice them. And you trust each other. fairly well. That's why you are in this little subgroup of pirates together.
So I guess the idea that he had that Jean had was that instead of like going up and just going like, hey, I'm just gonna swipe this, all right, bye, and just walk away. But actually, what he was thinking was that during these negotiations, of purposely causing these negotiations to fail or instigating something in that regard. And then while this chaos is going on, just swiping the trident and getting onto this, and then getting onto the station, and boarding a small mining vessel that they could just take off with.
Right.
I like that. I like that plan. Just because it just seems so much more chaotic than mine. Because I'm just trying to create the distrust. That's really what mine was really for.
I'm just marking down the details here. Cause chaos for cover. Steal the trident. Board the refinery. And escape with the trident. And these are just plans right now, right? You're just kind of in the planning stage. And Amy, what are you thinking?
She's fine with
Or I should say quick
any of
thinkers.
these plans. She figures either way that probably gets the attention of the captain, which would possibly get her closer to the captain.
Yeah, for sure. Because the trident is at about 2/3 power right now because it's got 2 out of the 3 spheres. And also the captain keeps it in his own private suite. He has a lot of very, very nice things. Things that are covered in like gold pressed latinum. He's got like a beautiful music box that is basically priceless. He has this spear of servitude that is right in his quarters, displayed, in fact, in a like a glass cabinet. And he's got ancient like crossed pistols that are made out of wood and iron. He's got these things from Earth, which is a long way off from here. So definitely, if you get the spear of, I want to call it the spear of Longinus. It is the staff of servitude. If you steal the staff of servitude, it will certainly get his attention. Absolutely.
Perfect.
And I think that's Celeste's and Jean's plan aren't necessarily incompatible with each other, because you want to take the trident, and Celeste wants someone to take the fall for taking the trident, right? So how do you guys want to work that out? You know some pretty foolhardy pirates who are basically there to be drunk and get rich, but they are good at what they do, so they can cut down people. A lot of these people are trained in combat mechanically, but maybe not trained in knowledge. If you see what I mean.
So in the next bunk over is Abraham, Alonzo, Bartho, and Lucy has taken his work badge, like his identification badge.
Yeah.
So she's gonna use that. She'll plant that. She gives it to John to plant because John wants to frame someone else.
Probably.
Oh, I get it.
Right. Okay, so you've got I would like you to let's see if this guy's, because this is like I said, it's a new day, right? And you guys have a goal, a focus. Maybe Abraham Alonzo Bartho doesn't necessarily have such focus. He might be asleep.
Yeah. He's on day shift.
He is not asleep, actually. He if he's on day shift, he's still up. He's off his shift. He's still up. He's having a drink, and does he sleep in the same suite as you? Because I'm going to say that
he's in the next bunk over.
Okay. Because of what I was thinking was that there are the quarters, the crew quarters, are separated into suites that several people live in at once, and they can all use the same facilities, because this is a stolen battleship, right? Yeah. It is kind of a high grade officers battleship. There are amenities here, which means that you're not necessarily just lined up in bunks.
Oh, sorry.
Which means you're not just necessarily lined up in bunks, but there are these separate suites that are basically cells on the ship.
So Lucy's an old army hand. Like she was in the Galactic Civil War, and so she just got used to calling them bunks. But yeah, the next suite over.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yep. So so you're gonna go over there, I guess, and or you could invite him over to your suite. How do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to his suite to get it.
Dung 19. Is that you, Young?
That is me.
Yes, you just
I decided to pop the screen up. I decided to pop the Twitch up because
yeah, perfect. Thanks for the follow. And so all right, so you're heading over there. They are definitely just one cell over down the hallway. Does anybody want to go with, or maybe you're trying to do this alone, or I'm not sure.
I am fine with anyone coming with me if they want to. I would have told when we were discussing the plan, I would have told you, oh, I'm gonna go get that, and you could frame him, so they would know about my idea.
Yeah. Yeah, John's pretty fine with it. He'll come along. He might come along because of his technical knowledge. So he might be able to break in a little bit easier, but otherwise he'll stay not far back, but he'll stay pretty. He'll let the gunslinger happen to do any physical combat if need be.
Right. And Celeste, are you coming too? It seems like the crew might be going over there together.
Sure, why not? I will follow with everyone else.
Cool.
But I'm sorry. Like my other teammate, I will stay far back a little bit, just so I'm not causing any disturbances or whichever.
Right, cool. I just want to give a shout out to D. Ralphenstein, who just followed as well.
That's me.
Okay, perfect.
No, that's me. It's just Dr. Alpha Einstein.
Okay, so not D. Ralphenstein. Oh yeah, that's how you joined the Discord initially, wasn't it, Dr. Alphenstein?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alpha Einstein.
Alpha Einstein. That's what it was. Yeah. All right, so it's just down the hallway. It'll be from the door to your suite to the door to their suite is a whole cell over, so it'll be probably 60 feet or something like that. And you'll get there. I think it was Quick Fingers who was going to go up to the door. There are little buttons that are utilized for as a doorbell, basically. And this one is broken. You'll have to really knock because the doors are like bulkheads. They're steel. There's been a knocker installed. It is another piece of steel that's just welded. It's like there's a ring welded to it that you can move and hit the door. If you see what I mean.
I'm sorry, would you mind repeating? I was getting family messages.
Right. For the suites where people are staying, sleeping, there are usually doorbells. There's some of them are broken, a lot of them are broken. Because they're not high up on the list for fixing, and there's always something to be fixed on this ship. So what has happened is they've taken a hand welder and they've installed a big metal knocker on the door, something that doesn't break so easily. So this is where you are with the with your plan here. You're in front of the door with the metal knocker.
I will knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door, clang, 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 and it rings out. It's a bit like it's a bit close quarters, so it's got this like tinny reverberation through the hallway. And it takes a few seconds, but Abraham Alonzo Bartho, as you know him, peeks through the door. You can hear the lock unlatch, and you can see him open it up, and he's got one of those ridiculous little chain locks as well that he's peering past. And you know that those things aren't going to hold anything. It's more for mental peace of mind than anything. But he sees you, and he knows you're good fun. You like to drink just like he does. And he says, "Hey, you've come to visit the day shift, have you?" And he closes the door, unlocks the chain, and opens it back up. And behind him, you can see that one of his compatriots, inside one of his cellmates, whose name is going to be Zachariah. Go from A to Z. Zachariah. So Abraham and Zachariah are awake. You know that there's another person in here as well, but they must be off sleeping in a bunk because they're not there. There is a card game going. They're playing. They're obviously playing Go Fish, and they've got a bottle that is labeled Captain Morgan between them. So yeah, this is the scene that you are presented with. They're inviting you in as well.
She continually has a cigarello in her mouth.
Yeah.
It's unlit, but it's there. It just kind of hangs out for emphasis. And she'll go, I came for the weekly Go Fish game. And she does she takes a cigarello out, and she does a fake spit, and then a spittoon noise, like and puts the cigarillo back in her mouth.
Yes, perfect. And he says, "Well, quick fingers, if you cheat like last time, you're gonna have to show me how you do it. Did you come alone?"
And she gives out a hearty belly chuckle.
It sounds like you came alone. And he looks out into the hallway. He looks away from the two who are hanging back in the hallway, giving them a chance to hide if they want to, when he swings his head back to look the other way. So I don't know if you guys want to hide, or if you want to act like you were just getting there, or what.
No, he's John's gonna hide.
Okay.
So is Celeste.
All right. So I'm going to say that is probably a combat skill, being stealthy. So if you
wait, Ray, were you asking if he asking if I brought somebody with me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he had said something else.
Okay.
That's why I chuckled. No, I would have introduced. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got some fresh meat for the game.
All right. So
this here is Johnny, and I forgot what your character's name was again.
Celeste.
Oh, Celeste. And this is Celeste.
Hello.
All right. So he still does the same thing, because you guys are hanging back. He looks out into the hallway. He looks one way, away from the characters, and then he looks back towards the characters down the hallway, which still gives you a chance to hide or do whatever you'd like in that case.
If she's introduced us, then no point if we can hear her. So
yeah, you can hear her.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we got to get you all in the room.
Yeah.
I'll do the distracting. Someone else can do the lifting.
Right. Yeah, and if you want to have like a meta conversation, we'll say that you have planned it all out in advance, so you can definitely have that conversation while you're there in the room, and they're not necessarily hearing it, right? So you're all invited in. They pull up a couple of buckets. They're not as neat and tidy as you are. They use buckets to sit on. They use those same buckets to go to the bathroom in. Their table is a big spool, a big used up spool that used to have industrial cable
with
on
a piece
it.
of plywood on it.
Yeah, exactly. And so they've got their own captain's special brew sitting out, and they've got some tin cups, which are basically just old cans, and they give you some of these old cans. They are obviously used and dirty, but they're not going to make you sick or anything. One of them still has a label on it that says beans. So they're pouring you some rum, and they are going to sit down and start dealing a game of Go Fish.
That's right. So my to the other people, I was thinking I would create a distraction, and while I'm creating distraction, somebody else maybe that's more stealthy than I could actually pilfer the like the work badge.
Right. And as I mentioned before, the stealth is going to be a combat skill. So if you want to compare stats and stuff, that's cool. so you can sort of metagame a little bit that way. Because your characters would know who's good at being stealthy.
My combat's probably the best then. Maybe somebody else makes the distraction.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I basically wow them with what is the word? I wow them with some making of the of using my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And basically wowing them by beating them at Go Fish. Just
Right.
playing small and strategically.
Right. Okay. Okay. So go ahead.
And continuously doing that to the point that their attention is focused on me kicking their butts.
Okay.
So that you can.
Okay. They've been playing Go Fish for a long time. They're not necessarily card sharks, but they are familiar with the game. It's probably the only game they are familiar with. So you've got I'm gonna guess that is a technical skill. Card game technical skill makes sense to me. So we're gonna have this should probably be an opposed roll, shouldn't it? So
you could say it's an opposed roll.
Yeah. So they've got a zero skill. They're trained, but they're not great. And one of them rolled an 8, so he's got the most pairs on the table right now. And that would be Zachariah has the most pairs on the table right now. So if you roll your technical and roll above an 8, you beat him.
Okay, then I rolled an 11.
Nice, wicked. So you beat him handily. You asked for you had one card in your hand, and you asked Zachariah for the card, and he had it. He gives it to you. You put your last pair down, and it's only been 5 turns, right? Maybe 4 turns. So you beat him easily. You beat both of them easily, and they both like raise their eyebrows and look back and forth at each other and say, "Wow, quick fingers! I didn't know you brought some card sharks. Are you hustling us?" And then they both push the whatever bets they had on the table towards you.
And John just kind of smiles and just kind of brings it forward. It's just he goes, "Oh, the idiots." He's French. Jean de Baptiste is French. He goes. It's just a simple way of prediction in mathematics. And he starts he takes some of the bets and it's like a few of the coins and starts like dribbling them through his fingers.
Oh, nice.
I will use that distraction to reach over to Abraham Alfonso's work coat to see if I could pull his badge.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And is Celeste there at the table as well? Also playing?
Celeste is here at the table.
Right. Cool. So I want Quick Fingers to make a combat roll to pickpocket.
All right.
And
here we go.
Yeah.
What is your combat stat actually? Curious.
4. Because I started with 3 and I added my 1 skill to it, and I rolled a 7, which makes it 11.
11. Yep, that beats it. So you reach into his pocket, and this is the second round, or probably you've been playing for a little while, for about a half an hour. This is probably the 4th round of Go Fish, and you reach into his pocket, and oh, it's not there. But you figure, well, if it's not there, it's going to be in his in the bag at his feet. So you sort of drop a couple of your coins on the ground and say, oh, don't worry about it, I'll get that. And as you're picking up the coins, you also pickpocket his bag, and you find the you said it was a badge. I didn't even think about it. Why do these pirates have badges? But but yeah, they've got a system of identification where it uses badges.
I pick up, as I grab it, I pick up my coins and I slide it into my boot.
Yeah.
And I come back up with my coins.
Yeah. Perfect. And I don't know if Sean is actually cheating or if he's just being smarter than the other two.
No, he's actually just he is literally a scholar instead of actually cheating. Well, he's actually doing both. He's cutting. What he's doing is he's doing this on the spot.
Yeah.
So he is manipulating a lot of the math behind it, and
Right.
so he's not like pulling out like another card or just like, oh look, I just have a pair right here. Just pulls out another card.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, he's just basically manipulating the deck and doing, or whenever hits his turn or whenever he does it, he'll just slowly and just manipulate his cards around so
Right.
that they pick cards they don't want.
Right, of course. Yeah, you're playing mind games. You're doing some deduction. Like, oh yeah, that guy must have an 8 or whatever. So with that, I would probably well, it's not real actual cheating, so never mind. But yeah, you are wowing them, and they eventually stop after the fourth round. After you've got what you want, you've got the Abraham's badge, and they say, how are you doing this? How are you winning every single time? You have to teach us. If you're cheating, we want to know. We also want to cheat.
I don't think...
What he does is he deals another hand, he plays another round,
Mm-hmm.
and then as they play it, he'll stop the game and basically open up his hand and say that, and you just point out that card is this card. You're holding it this card. This is your tell here, and he basically just deconstructs what he does, what they're doing as they play, and then just give them the advantage. He'll still try and beat them, but he'll sit there and just manipulate the cards in his hand and show that whenever they choose it, he moved, and he'll make it a little bit more obvious. But he'll basically just kind of manipulate and move the cards around so that it shuffles them every time they pick a new card.
Right. Yeah, and they are duly impressed.
He actually shows how to do it too.
Yeah, and they are duly impressed. And they'll come around. They'll smack you on the back, and they'll throw a couple more. I want to call them silver down. And say, oh, this is some high level go fish. I've never experienced a lesson in this before, so you know what? You can come by anytime, as long as we've got the silver, anyways. We're gonna beat you one day.
You could, mon ami, you could try it at poker too, monsieur. You can do this with poker, blackjack, Texas Hold'em. Americans, you can read them easily.
Yeah, and they both look at each other and we're like, we only know go fish. Celeste, you were Celeste was going to say something earlier, but I think she got cut off. Were you going to say something, or do you remember what you were going to say? Celeste?
What happened? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just you were going to say something, but I think you got cut off.
No, it's okay. I think Celeste was just kind of. I think the Celeste is really just an observer. She just likes to watch things. She's a people watcher.
Mm-hmm.
So even though she is chaotic, she does watch different moves, and I'm like, and her only comment is, I don't think Jean is cheating. It's more like he's just smart about playing this game. This is essentially like, I don't think he's cheating.
Yep.
Because it didn't look like he was cheating to her.
Yeah.
That's
No.
why.
Yeah, for sure. And after the deconstruction, it's confirmed that he was definitely not cheating, but was just playing smartly, like you thought. Exactly. So it's the end of the round, and Quick Fingers has given the signal that she's got what you came for. So if you wanted to take off, it's probably about 45 minutes afterwards, and you're going to be expected at your posts in just a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lucy will stand up. She takes her Stetson and like pours in whatever credit she still has on the table, and picks them up and says, "Well, this highfalutin goldfish is too much for my blood. I remember when goldfish was a pure game with all these fancy mathematics." And she will take her cigar or cigarello out, make a fake spit sound in a platoon, and she'll say, "I bid you all good day."
Well, you could play something sometime else. I could teach you how to do it. It's not really that much mathematics. It's just knowing when to move and when not to move.
All right. Well, you pack up your. Well, I don't know what you brought, but I was gonna say you pack up your things and go. But you stand up from the table. You shake hands with Abraham and Zachariah. And what was your roll? Your roll was 11 for the stealth, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you dropped a coin in there as well, so it's the same weight. So when he picks up his bag to go back to his bunk, and he's wobbling now too. He's had quite a bit of Captain Morgan's rum, and he gets back to his bunk and he lays down. He's got his bag kind of under his arm as well, like it's important to him, and he just kind of closes his eyes and looks like he's about to go to sleep. So success. You go back to your bunk, to your suite, and it is we'll say you are going to arrive. Yeah, no, you're going to arrive on this shift, aren't you? Yeah, so you'll be on shift when you arrive. What are your plans to make this happen? To make the to take the staff to and to escape. How are you going to do that? Because you know that Captain Morgan is going to be on the bridge communicating with the refinery, and his suite is going to be left alone, but not left alone because he always posts a guard, and it's always his trusted security man. He's got one security man who is basically he's kind of like a yes man. He's a sycophant, and he is a big guy who is very good at combat, and has just a little bit of training in social. And you know him pretty not pretty well because he kind of keeps to himself. But his name will be let's say call him O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
Yeah. O'Reilly equals how do we call that? Security. Captain's security. And he has a communication device that will go directly to the captain, and you can probably tap into the wavelength or whatever it is. It's not complicated technology, but the frequency is supposed to be strictly for the captain to talk to O'Reilly. And he has made that clear. If anybody else uses this frequency, they're going to be punished. So
Here's an idea.
Yeah.
Tap into the frequency, set the frequency so that so that when it reads that frequency, it reads it at a lower frequency vocally, so that when you speak, your tone sounds similar to the captain.
Right.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Right. Okay. So you're going to want to modify one of your communication devices to have that change in the quality of the voice coming through. All right, so that is a technical skill. You're going to have done this ahead of time, but I want you to roll to see how well you've done it. So anyone with the technical skill can roll it. They can be assisted as well. If they fail, I'll allow another roll by somebody else.
10.
10. That's a success. You don't need to. You don't need even any assistance. So you've tested it out with your own communicators on rarely used frequencies, so that you know that it works, and it sounds vaguely like the captain. You know, if you put on his expressions and use the language that he uses, you could sound like the captain. Yeah, for sure. All right, so now we're jumping back to the current time frame, and we are a couple of hours out from the refinery. And so what do you want to do now? You gonna head over to the captain's quarters, or are you gonna wait till he's on the bridge? Or wait for like confirmation that he's on the bridge, or what is it?
Oh wait, basically what I was thinking of was that we wait until he's on the bridge,
mm-hmm.
and confirmed on the bridge,
mm-hmm.
and then we go through there and let them work out the deal. Then while they're working on the bridge, a program will be running that will pretend to expose a weakness in the pirates to make it seem like the refinery can rebel. They could win and defeat the pirate captain.
Right.
Basically, either force people to the front, and then when the fighting starts and he does his announcement, I pop into the comments, say the head of security is to tell the head of security that he needs to go as well. He needs all hands. Gives it a convincing thing. Then he sneaks in, grabs the trident, sneaks out, boards, and then as everyone boards the refinery, we get in, we grab a ship, and we leave.
Right. I would like at this point to know what are your roles on the ship. I feel like possibly the scholar would be on the bridge.
The scholar would be closer to the map. Could be to the mapper.
Right.
Usually on like
navigation
starships and
something.
Astrogator. usually on like a starship or even on a ship, what they'll do is as you change head bearings and headings and change positional coordinates, someone's constantly reading out where you are every change you make. So if you turn left, I have to, and I'm the navigator, I have to read out, okay, we're going this fast at this angle, and we are right here on the map.
Right. Cool. So we're gonna say that position is on the bridge, and you've got like this holographic map that's got so many numbers on it, and it's if you just looked at it without knowing what you like, with the only the basic knowledge that this is a map, you would have no idea how to read it, right? But you've studied this thing, and you know exactly how to read it. You know what the numbers mean. You can, translate the data into usable information for other people, and especially for the captain. So this does require constant input from you on the bridge, right? So this might complicate your plan a little bit, because you're a necessary part of the bridge. Everyone's necessary here, but the captain will be able to hear you constantly. But also, I want to know what is Quickfinger's role on the ship.
She doesn't have any kind of technical knowledge. She's probably like a security guard or something.
Right. Okay, so you probably you have worked with O'Reilly before.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something, Smiles?
Probably I was gonna say as probably a Marine or a border.
Right.
That she's combat heavy enough that she will go over to the other ship and board it.
Right. Like, yeah, okay, I see exactly what you're saying. And that kind of, I feel like that kind of role, like an offensive security, would fit Quickfingers's MO,
Yeah. She's security. She guards stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And Celeste, what do you think? You've got what is your role on the ship?
I mean, I have enough social and physical to kind of just be someone who helps with the shipments, I guess.
Right. So like,
but is still able to help organize where things kind of need to go, essentially.
Right. Okay. So you're part of the cargo operations. You're possibly you are a like the organizer for the cargo, and you're gonna know about like how the cargo gets shielded from scans, and where, like, how to position it so that it doesn't weigh one side of the ship down or something like that. So call that cargo ops.
All right, no worries.
Perfect. All right, so you're definitely, with the exception of Quickfingers, you would have to be in different parts of the ship. You've got a way to communicate. Let's call it, you've got pagers, little text communicators that you use, that you can keep in touch with each other with. And I say with the exception of Quickfingers because security could be patrolling, right? Depending on what the job is at the moment.
Yeah, what they had me doing that day.
Yeah, exactly. And O'Reilly is kind of he's got a strange shift because he works longer hours, but stays in the same suite as the captain. So he's probably going to be posted in the suite while the captain is away from the suite. And you know this because you're security. You've seen the scheduling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what is your role today as a security officer? Probably
today.
Sorry, probably because you are doing this thing with the refinery. You're probably going to have something to do with getting people ready to board if need be.
Okay, yeah, she'll be like she's gonna be in charge of like logistics for the boarding party, like making sure they have all their things that they need for the boarding.
Right. Yep. And you've got all the weapons. You're making sure they're hot. That they're that your crew has a sharp eye today. You're doing a little bit of target practice with the like light like not offensive lasers, but just like practice lasers. And just making sure everybody's
On their A
ship
game.
shape in case things go south.
Exactly.
Right. So flying through this inky blackness, we're gonna be in the bridge for a minute. Flying through the inky blackness, the navigation computer finally pops up on the edge of it, the refinery and the planet the refinery is by. And so Jean-Baptiste can see this, and the Captain Morgan, has asked for, as soon as that happens, to start providing updates. And they're about probably 40 minutes out from the refinery now.
Mm-hmm.
And
so he start, as soon as he says that, he immediately starts he notifies the captain that there's of the station's appearance on the map, and he
Right.
starts, and while that's going down, he's trying to figure out a way to not deploy his Omni computer, but use it in such a way that he can just type in a little sound bite or something to try and work it, try to get that head of security away from the door. But
right.
either way, he's mainly focused on trying to make sure the captain gets to the station in time. And then once the captain reaches in range of the station and hailing frequency, and we dock, he's going to head. I'm guessing he's probably going to be dismissed from the station. He's probably going to be dismissed from his station.
Right. Oh, we're not there yet.
Is that correct?
So, what you're doing right now is hooking up your Omni computer so that when you need it to, it'll send out a sound bite of what appears to be the captain speaking to O'Reilly's frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that you're trying to shield it from the captain also receiving it?
Yes. The captain.
I don't know exactly what that would look like, but it would be a technical role for that as well. You know what? I'm going to include it in the last technical role. You've already done that. You've found a way to shield it from the captain also receiving it. Whether it's
probably through a more like specific or direct use of comm channel.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you have You have done that. You've and the captain. A lot of the crew have these have, if not omni computers, they have like little computers or games that they've got going, and the captain is very much a man of leisure, as much as he is a very strict person. He also makes sure that everyone's enjoying themselves. He provides the booze. He provides like these little games you can play, just so that nobody ever gets bored. You know, nobody ever thinks of him as an awful, unfair person. So it's not uncommon to see people with these little computers out and just tapping at them, having nothing to do with their jobs. They're just like, you know, playing cookie clicker or whatever. So it's not unusual that you would have your Omni computer out. You can have like a little mount and have your pager attached to it, and your communication device and that kind of stuff. So it kind of goes unnoticed. So, and just before you click the button for O'Reilly to receive that message, I want to know what the other two are doing at this point. Like you guys know that you're approaching it, and approaching the refinery, and probably you've just I want to say you have sent out a message that the plan is on, that we're getting close. Is that true, Jean-Baptiste? To your compatriots?
What?
As you're getting close, you're updating your fellow conspirators about what's happening. Okay. So you two receive the message on your little pagers that says the message is about to go out, and the plan is in motion. So quick fingers, what do? You are making sure that these people are training. Maybe you excuse yourself. I'm not sure how you want to do this. You're not by the captain's quarters. You're in a place that's fairly nearby, though. So that was for quick fingers. Amy, are you there?
Sorry, somebody came in.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. What's going on?
You have just received on your pager that we are approaching, and that O'Reilly's just about to get the message, and that you should get in gear to invade the captain's quarters. And
excellent.
And you both received that message, Celeste and Quick Fingers. Even though you're in separate parts of the ship, you know at the same time that this is happening.
I will I will excuse myself from my current duty, and I say emergency. I will return as soon as I can, and I will shuffle off.
Yeah, and because of your combat skill, everyone respects that if you need to go, that's fine. Nobody's going to question you about it. You are training them, so that's good. And Celeste, you are in the cargo bay, just preparing for this cargo that you're expecting, and you receive this message that O'Reilly is about to leave his post.
I'm like, okay, no problem. And then at that point, I will I'm not gonna excuse myself because I don't know if Quick Fingers needs help.
Right.
Essentially, just going to the captain's quarters.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
So
you're
to
gonna be.
make it seem,
Sorry. Go ahead.
because I don't know if Quick Fingers needs help
Mm-hmm.
in the captain's quarters and breaking in or anything like that.
She might not. But this is something you would have discussed ahead of time, so you can speak to Amy and see if you want both people in there, or if just one is enough.
I would have her come with me.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so at that point, since I got the message, I would say, okay, and then I would conveniently say, okay, before this starts, I'm going to be right back and I'm going to excuse myself to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm going to go find myself a bathroom and make it look like that.
Okay.
But in reality, I'm really just going to go find Quick Fingers at this point.
Yeah. And you've got a spot that you were going to meet. It's just a corner of a hallway, and it's not far from the captain's quarters. It's just then that you hear from over O'Reilly's radio the message that has been carefully crafted to sound just like the captain, saying saying something like, what does it say? It says like, O'Reilly, come to this other part of the ship. Where do you think you would want O'Reilly to be?
What's the furthest part of the ship?
I would say
like section on the other side of the ship.
Come to refuse hangar 2.
You were just
mean. and that's probably going to be underneath the cargo bay. So he has to actually go through the cargo bay to get there. So he looks at he hears the message, and he's been instructed not to and trained not to question these things, especially a direct order from the captain. And I'm just going to make sure that because he knows the captain's voice, he lives in the same suite with him. I'm just going to make sure that he believes this is the captain.
Okay.
And this is going to be a social roll against the technical roll, which was, I believe it was an 11. That technical roll that you modified the file that was being played. So he's got a hit on 11, which is difficult, especially with his social, which is just very slightly trained. It's a +1. So no, he believes you absolutely. I rolled a 7 + 1 is 8. He fails his role. So he's going to hear this message. He's going to not question it. He does pause for a second and look at the radio, like something was weird about that, but he couldn't place anything weird. He couldn't think of what was weird about it. So he puts his radio back on his belt, and he heads off in the direction that you two are standing, by the way. But you can make it look like you're busy, that you've got some work to do. And he passes right by you without question. So the captain's quarters is unguarded. O'Reilly has left. You know he's going to be at maximum, if he just walked there and walked straight back, it would be about we'll say 20 minutes. Right? Assuming no complications at all. So what are we going to and I'm sorry, right now I'm going to cut back to the bridge, and I wonder if Jean-Baptiste is just going through all of the procedures, just letting the captain know where we are, and that kind of thing, because I know that you were going to try and transmit a signal. Possibly you're preparing the signal for transmission, to let the refinery know that there is some kind of weak point on the ship.
It's just going to be an anonymous encrypted message.
Right. And is there a specific weak point that you had in mind?
He was going to say it's the engine. The engines were susceptible. Well, he knew that the engines were susceptible to damage.
Right.
And susceptible to damage, and if you crippled the engines, then they can't do anything.
Right.
Because of how the power dynamics work.
Okay.
With void crystals.
And you're gonna wait until some point to send that. I guess when the captain is talking to the refinery, or ahead of that.
Yeah, when he's focused on doing the refinery, and then when no one's looking, he just sends the signal.
Right. Okay. And all right. So I guess that means that you would have timed the O'Reilly's message to that. So I'm going to let you send that message. It'll be another technical roll in order to send that message stealthily and properly, so that they receive it. It's probably encrypted, but in a way that they can decrypt it.
Please. Come on. There we go. 12.
12. Oh yeah, absolutely. You do this beautifully. Normally, you've probed their systems a little bit, and you know exactly the kind of computer they're using. And normally, when they get this kind of encrypted message from outside, there will be like a little blinking light that comes on. You've managed to disable that light, so that the captain has no way of knowing what is being transmitted. You're rolling really well.
And I've been rolling stupid well.
Yeah, and I want to say that even if you failed, there would be some you would do it. You would do whatever it is you're trying to do, but there would be like a complication, like maybe the light blinked, and a new conversation starts about the captains being like, "Who's sending you messages right now?" You know, so don't worry about it if you roll like a 4 or a 6 in the future. But this is awesome. You're rolling super well. And so the person on the other end, we'll call him Rolf. Rolf, yeah, like the Muppet. And he kind of looks like that. He's
from Ed and Eddie.
Ed and Eddie. Oh, I've never seen that one actually. But
what are you doing, Ed boy?
But yeah, so Rolf is actually, you can see him on the monitor. He is a this big old like kind of dog like person, and he's got these big floppy ears, and he's got these big watery eyes as well, and he's got this voice like this, and and as he's talking to the captain, you can hear the fear in his voice. He knows exactly who Captain Morgan is. You can tell he's been dreading this exact situation, and you can hear his voice is warbling a little bit. But he gets this message, and you know what he's looking at because he looks down at the computer, which is out of sight of the camera that's facing him. Like sort of, I have my notebook in front of me, but the webcam only shows my face. So he looks down at the computer, and he does something kind of unheard of. He lifts up one finger to the captain, and he turns around and shows his back to him, right? And this is insulting. This is awful. And I want to know how the captain reacts to this, because the captain's got some pride, right? I'm going to say this is a social role. And the captain has some really good social. He's got a 3 social. He passes. He got a 9. And usually an 8 is enough to pass an unopposed roll. So he contains his anger. He doesn't immediately fire upon the bridge or anything. The bridge of the refinery. Refineries, like a station wouldn't have a bridge, but like, you see what I'm saying. He doesn't immediately fire. He contains it, and he says, "Rolf, look at me when I'm talking to you. This is not some kind of a joke." And Rolf turns back, and he smirks a little bit, and you see him reach down and tap a button, and you see a little icon come up on the monitor, and it says mute and like on Skype, mute and deaf. So there is no audio going through. He has just muted the captain on this call. And the captain turns to one of his bridge ops, and we'll say it's is the acting security officer right now, and he says, send them a message. And that's when we're going to switch back to the other two who are raiding the captain's quarters. And it's right at that point when you two hear the distinct sound of this distinct frying meat sound of a large it's a cannon, right? It sounds like, and it has that very distinct sound, and you know something's gone wrong. Something has gone wrong or right. You were banking on chaos, right? So let's get you two into the captain's quarters and invading the room, right? So you walk up to the door, obviously, and you know that it was going to be locked. You're looking at the lock, and there's a standard lock. The standard sort of firmware lock that has a keypad and everything, but there's also a big old padlock as well, and you know O'Reilly's got that key, and the captain has that key. You know how to get past the firmware lock. You just have to manage it. So, will one of you roll your technical skill to try and crack the lock? with a target of 8.
Well, you're the rogue, Celeste. Maybe you'd be better at that. I don't know.
Celeste? That's Young? Are you still there? Young.
Are you muted?
Oh, you are muted. I don't know if you did that on purpose.
I guess I can. Can I use her lockpick? Does that give an advantage or something?
You know what it would, wouldn't it? I will say that you're using the lockpick. It's got like firmware lock tools on it as well. So I'm going to say it's a 7 instead of an 8.
Let's give
Target.
this a go. Nope, that's a failure.
Oh, okay. So
It's a 5.
it's a 5. Okay. So that is a failure of 2. So it's going to take you a few extra minutes, but you can get through. And unfortunately, you know that an internal alarm has just gone off. Who knows if it's going to be noticed with the gunfire?
Yeah.
You don't know. It's going to be a chaotic situation now, right?
Yeah.
And okay. And I wonder if Young has gone somewhere. I don't know. And let me not sure what happened to her. But
There
you are.
oh, there you are.
I'm still here. I'm sorry. I'm still here.
Okay. We have just did you hear what happened?
Sorry. I am a little lost. My apologies.
It's okay. We just got through the sort of software firmware lock of the door. And we've used your lockpick. But we failed the roll. Right? We got through, but there is an internal alarm that you know is going off somewhere, right? And but you're banking on the chaos to cover up that alarm. And you know that there's now a one of the ship's cannons has gone off. Something has gone wrong in the negotiation, and a ship cannon has just gone off. But there is still one more lock. It is a big physical lock. It's basically a big old Norco bike lock that's been sort of welded into the door. And you don't have a key. You could use your lockpick, or you could use physical strength to try and get this off, or some other means if you have some other means.
Well, I didn't do so well on that lock. You want to try this one?
Well, how about? Can I just roll for the physical?
Yeah, sure.
+2.
You are gonna
might as well just try rolling for it.
Yeah, you are gonna need some leverage, so you'll be using your some kind of a crowbar or some kind of pole to try and bend the lock out of place. And you're both gonna be yanking on this thing. So I'd like you both to roll this physical check.
Okay.
What exactly am I rolling for this?
So 2d6,
Like,
and
I
then
roll like d6 for this?
yeah, and then do you have physical stat trained?
I have the +2 for the
Perfect.
physical.
All right, so you'll be adding 2 to your roll.
Okay.
I got an 8.
An 8. Perfect. That is
It's just 1d6,
a pass.
right?
It's 2d6.
2d6, okay.
Mhm.
Uh, 9, 11.
11. Yeah, perfect. So you don't manage to exactly get the lock off, but you manage to bend it in such a way that you know you could lock pick it very easily now. So what you do is you take your little lock picks and you just like tinker with it for a few seconds and jimmy it open. And you have access now to the captain's quarters. With the caveat that you know that there's an alarm going off. And that, I'm going to say that took about 5 minutes. 5 minutes because of the failure on the firmware lock
Right.
on the keypad. So it just took a little longer, and you didn't override the alarm. So,
Oh, jeez.
if O'Reilly left, got to the refuse area, and came straight back, it would be about 20 minutes without any complications, right? So you've used up about 5 minutes of that.
So now we have 15 minutes left to do whatever we're supposed to do here and leave.
Yeah. So we'll move back to the bridge at this point because the party is split, so we have to keep going, moving back and forth. All right. So on the bridge, you can see Jean-Baptiste. You can see that there is a little red blinking light by one of the officers. You know exactly what it is. You've scoped out this the whole area for anything that could go wrong. You know exactly what this is. This is the alarm that is attached to the that has been set off because someone jimmied open the captain's door, right? And I'm just going to make sure that nobody has noticed it, but you. And the officer whose console it is on, they are very busy. They have not noticed it. I'm gonna need to grab another water just because my mouth is drying out. So I'm gonna put this on hold for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and finish it. I'll be right back.
Okay.
We seem to be doing very well, from what I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Ow, pain.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. I've dry as a desert. I've got to remember to hydrate.
Hydrating is good for you.
All right. So we are at this point where the you've got, if you were going to do something about it, the console that this blinking alarm is on that nobody has noticed is across the bridge. It's like a few consoles away. So what do you want to do about this, Jean-Baptiste?
Is it a closed circuit system, or is this or is this something that I can get into really quick?
This is something that you can get into. we'll say probably most of the systems are united under a central processing unit. So
that's a big mistake.
So yeah, so there's definitely a lot of the systems can be accessed from the other systems.
That's a massive mistake right there. Because if he knows that, first thing he's going to do is, since he has his since he sent that message, he's going to quickly just kind of access that system, turn off the alarm, and then make sure it keeps it off in case he notices it.
Yeah, just a few lines of code, and you just want it to stay off, disable the alarm. Okay.
Yeah.
So that will be another technical roll.
Five, 4 plus 2, that is a 9.
9. Okay. So that makes it.
That is a 11, whatever it
11.
is.
Okay. All right, perfect.
I looked down at the thing, I said 9. I'm looking at my dice, it says 9. I went, my technical is 2, so it means it's 9.
Right.
Wait, that's not right.
No. All right, so you managed to do that pretty easily. Now I want to say that if you keep accessing other systems, somebody will probably notice some hacking, even if you keep succeeding over and over again. There are a couple more very technical pilots. Good thing one of them is off shift. But there is on shift in engineering. There is a very technical crewmate who would, if they were looking at the activity for the CPU, they would understand that there are systems being hacked. Right? You think that's not the case right now, but if you keep accessing the CPU, you figure you might blow your cover.
Yeah, that's the only time he's going to do that, is just to disable that alarm. So that it's just so that those alarms that are around the safe, just so that Amy and them don't get caught electronically, at least.
Yeah. And so you do that, and the alarm stops blinking. The officer at the console has noticed something has changed, but it's too late. They don't know what just turned off, what has changed, right? So you can see that they were looking up at the monitor in front of them, and the blinking light was sort of down and to their right. And as soon as it turns off, they kind of like look around on the console, like, what was that? Oh, well. And then just keep looking at the monitor and doing their job. So you've done it. And the up on the main view screen, you can see that Rolf is finished talking to the person behind them, and has turned around and has oh yeah, no, that cannon fire went off, didn't it? So the cannon fire just sizzled through space and just missed the refinery. It was a warning shot. But it did fry some of the more sensitive electronics on the outside of the refinery, just from the heat alone. And that's when Rolf turns around, unmutes the call, and says, what does he say? He says, we are willing to work with you, but we would require payment for the void crystals. I wouldn't deign to charge you as much as the wholesale value, but we do need to comp some of our losses. And the Captain Morgan, he's fingering his filament whip, and he's saying, that is not how this works, my friend. You give us what we want, and you stay all in one piece. And so this is the conversation that's going on between these two. And it goes on for a little while. Probably we'll say about 5 minutes. A second warning shot goes off. And actually hits one of the mining shuttles that was there. It doesn't hit the refinery, but it does hit a shuttle that was coming back to the refinery, and explodes it. Somebody was on that. You know that. They know that. And Rolf mutes the call again, and this is too much for the captain. And you can see he is seething. He is getting very, very angry with these people, and he lifts up his finger, and he's about to order a strike when we go back to the captain's quarters. And so this is Celeste and Quick Fingers. This is when you hear the second cannon fire. And I'd like you to do what you're doing. Go ahead and open the door, get in there, and do what you need to.
I forget what we were doing in the captain's quarters.
You're trying to get the trident.
Oh, that's right, the trident. Yes.
Yeah.
So we will enter in, and I will do a quick.
We already did that. We're looking at. You guys already entered in. You're looking at the safe, right?
When you open the door and you get in there, and it is opulent in there. There is a bunch of like there's velvet curtains all over the place. There are like chairs with gold insets, and there are beautiful glasses made out of this I'm gonna call it opalian crystal that has this like rainbow sheen to it, and there's latinum all around the ridge, and latinum quite poisonous. They probably don't use it very much, but this is rich people stuff, you know. So you get in there, and you're looking around at all of these things, and it is quite obvious as soon as you start investigating the suite, in the bedroom, the sort of area that has been earmarked as the master bedroom, right at the foot of the bed, a huge display case with this staff of servitude, obviously displayed there. It's vertical. It's got this. It's got a shaft that has all kinds of filigree all over it. It's obviously meant to be wielded with two hands because there's two sort of handles on it. And it is the middle sphere that is missing. And you know, even with just two void crystal spheres, it will still work. It's not as powerful. It won't take down a whole population, but it will work against some people.
Okay.
So here you are in front of this glass display case.
Does this glass look like it's like hardy glass, like bulletproof type glass, or can I just like smash this?
Well, you're looking at it, and it seems a little strange. It's not like glass that you've seen before. It's very thin, right? And you're thinking it's not a cloudiness to it, but there is a translucence that keeps like passing over the glass as if it were being, I don't know, electrified or fortified in some way that makes it something other than just glass. So it is not exactly what you would consider just a standard display case.
Is there like an opening area?
There is there's a bit of a podium on the bottom. There it's in this like this royal purple, the podium. And it's got these edges. The frame of the display case is in what looks like it's like a brassy metal, and it's all inlaid with these images of emaciated people, and they look like they're falling on the frame. They're not moving or anything, but it looks like that's the way they were etched into the frame. And it goes up to about the staff itself is about 6.5 feet long, and the display case is about, we'll say, 9 feet tall, including the podium. There's no opening. It doesn't look like there's any opening, like a keyhole or anything like that.
I will. I'll look at Celestia and ask her if she has any ideas.
I mean, at this point, it would be, is there a way to just pick the lock on this display case and just open it, or?
Well, there's no lock mechanism that you can see. Why don't you both roll a knowledge check, and we'll see.
Okay. Alright. -2.
-2. Wonderful.
I don't think I did any better. So that's 3, and it's -3 for anything I have no
0,
idea about.
yeah.
So -1.
So you're looking at
3
this
minus
thing.
3 is -1.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3 minus 3. Wait.
0.
So I have 2 plus 2 is 4. So it's -3. That's
Right. It's not a
That's
pass.
1. I'm sorry. That's 1.
Right, yeah. So we can say it's a failure. You don't know what this thing is. You can figure it out. But you would have to start like actually actively investigating this thing, and it might take some time to do that. And that's a complication for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Because we only have 15 minutes.
Yeah, who knows when O'Reilly will get back. There, as far as you know, there's an alarm going off telling you that, telling the captain that you're in here, so this is something you've probably got to work out, either by some other means or just through the old investigation.
I would just smash it and take it at this point, because
Right.
there's no point. I mean, it's going to take time to investigate it, and the only way to do that is back in regular setting rather than under a time limit, and that's the way Celeste is going to think.
Right. So you take your hand. You've got like gloves to protect your hands. You lift a lot of things. You're pretty strong. So because you work in the cargo bay and everything. So you're absolutely certain you can break this thin glass, right? So you wind up, you get the back of your hand. There's a bit of padding on there, on the back of your glove, and you smash it with the back of your hand. The thing is, it doesn't smash. You feel your hand slow down and get stuck, and your hand is stuck halfway through this quote unquote glass. And it doesn't hurt, but it's very numb. And just a second later, you realize that you're being drawn into the display case. And there's not much you can do about it. And on the other side of the display case, it's not flush against the wall. On the other side of the display case, the staff is being pushed out of the display. So you are replacing what's inside of it. You're being pulled in.
Great.
It's kind of scary because you've never experienced this kind of like whatever the hell this thing is made out of, right?
So essentially, if I can't just replace my hand at this point in time with something else. I can't just shove like.
No, you are being drawn into it immediately. It's a slow process, but not that slow. You're probably your elbow is in now too.
Can I grab the trident as it comes out?
Yes, absolutely. So the trident has got enough out of the display case that you could grab a piece of it, and it'll come out in your hand.
I'll do that, and then I'm gonna once I get it, I'll pull the identification card for Abraham Alfonso, and I will try like pushing it into this thing to see if it replaces poor Celestia.
Yeah.
Or Celeste.
All right, so Celeste is up to her shoulder now, and you can see the beads of sweat on her forehead, and she is really worried about this because her arm is like in stasis inside of there. Now you can see that she doesn't have any control of her arm. It's just very still. So you've taken the badge and you've pressed it up against the glass now that you've got the spear. And it starts going in, and Celeste starts moving out of it. You figured it out. Something needs to be in there. So she begins to come free. And the badge is just sitting there very conspicuously saying Abraham Alonzo Bartho. It's glinting in the sunlight. Sunlight? No, it's glinting in the in the lights that fills the cabin, and it's going to be very obvious who this belongs to as soon as anyone enters. So, you take a minute and manage to get free, Celeste. And that's when you hear one more cannon fire. And we will go back to the bridge. And and you've seen the captain order a strike. And the captain orders a strike, and you and the person on the guns is ready. Like, they fire immediately. There is on the refinery, you can see a point barrier system form, with like a little energy dome that moves towards the impact zone, and there's the laser blast hits the point barrier system and deflects off of the refinery. And a point barrier system like this is it's manual. Like, you have to do it on a screen. It's not automatic. So that this place is not very well guarded, not very well defended with this kind of a shield, right? The thing is, they think that they have an ace up their sleeve. Is there anything you wanted to do at this point to sort of change what's going on? Because it seems to be going exactly as you planned so far.
No, he since everything is going as planned so far, the only thing that he's really gonna do is just check to make sure what's going on. Just check making sure what's going on with Oliver, and even just sending out a few orders, giving a few orders to see as to positional coordinates, and doling out if there's any enemy fighters in the area.
Right.
Effectively, because he knows that if they're going to be defending the station, they're probably going to be sending out small craft.
Right. There is when you say Oliver, who do you mean?
O'Reilly, whatever his name is.
O'Reilly, yeah, of course. There is there's no positional data on him. You could probably hack the life support system and find him if you wanted to, but there's no on-hand positional data for you. That would be part of the life support system. But yeah, for sure, you can see on your nav screen, you see some heat sources that indicate not small shuttles, but little missiles coming out. And you can see that these things, the heat sources, are sharp, but they are not nearly heavy enough to to penetrate the ship's even the hull, right? It's going to hit the side of the ship, and it's just going to blow away some of the hull, and it's not going to reach the engine room. But they think that, oh, we've got this insider information, we've got this anonymous tip that there's engine room. It's got to be it's weaker at the engine room. So and that Tactical is also seeing this. That the weapons officer is also seeing this. Is there anything you wanted to do about that?
That they're shooting missiles at us and they're aiming for the engine?
Yeah, about the weapons officer. And
there isn't really much that he can't. There isn't really much that he can do, if that makes sense. Because if you think about it, the first thing that you're going to go for on a ship is, or what you should go for is the engines. Is if you take out the engines of a starship, then it can't move.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing it can do is it can just probably change its position a little bit, but otherwise it won't be able to move.
Yeah. All right.
So taking out the engines, or at least damaging them in some way, would be an obvious first move. All he did was just say, "Oh, these might be just a little bit weaker than they think."
Right.
So if you hit them, you're gonna probably, if you hit them hard enough, you'll break the engines.
Yep.
He just basically
absolutely
fed him a line of
Okay. So the tactical officer is looking at his console. He sees these things as well. And he's got more information on it than you do, because all you're seeing is the sort of navigational data of it. He can see all of the technical data of the missiles as it comes streaming into his console, and he's like, Captain, they've just fired some of these weak ass missiles. I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to do, but they're definitely trying to hurt us. And then he laughs like as if this is nothing to them. These are mosquitoes. And the captain says, let's give them a taste of their own medicine. And he orders a salvo of missiles to be fired. And so that happens, and the missiles come off the ship sort of perpendicular, and then not rearrange, but they guide towards the missiles that are being shot at the ship, and a few of them hit the missiles, and there's a big explosion out in space. You can see that there's like a big light source, and there are a few missiles that this ship, that the battleship has shot, that just continues barreling through, right? And it starts hitting the refinery, and you can see on the monitor there's the red alert goes off. There's the lights start flickering. There's shaking around, and the monitor actually goes dead. On their end, it's like a no signal kind of message that you're reading now. And so that's what's happened over there, which is not exactly how the captain wanted this to go. He just wanted to get the void crystals and be off. Didn't necessarily want to destroy the whole refinery to do that. So I'm gonna move back to the cabin, and you guys have gotten the Spear of Servitude. So what are you going to do now? I guess you're going to leave the cabin, of course. But where are you going now?
Yeah, pretty much.
And go to the bridge.
Go to the bridge. Nice.
And I go to the cargo hold.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically both go our own separate ways at this point.
Right. Okay. So you're going to go. Celeste is going to go to the cargo hold, and Quick Fingers is going to go to the bridge. Right.
Time to get the captain.
Right. All right. So I'm going to follow Celeste for a second. On the way to the cargo hold, they mentioned that the refuse chamber was like underneath the cargo hold, so that O'Reilly would have to go through the cargo hold to get there. And you are about halfway to the cargo area when you see O'Reilly in the hallway, coming back towards you. And he says to you, "Hold! This is an emergency situation right now. We are being fired upon." So he doesn't know we're being fired upon. We are firing at the refinery. Why aren't you in the cargo bay? Why aren't you at your post? Sorry?
I went to the bathroom. My apologies. I got a little distracted. I will use my social skills if it requires me. So
yeah, use your social roll.
Just a second. Jeez. Never thought I'd have to use my social roll for this one. Damn. It's like, I went to the bathroom. That's about it. So, that's a 10.
A 10? Yeah, 10 makes it. A 10 makes it. He is not happy that you excused yourself to the washroom right at this point, but he believes you. He's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did this. Get back to the cargo area."
I'm on my way. And I kind of just go off in a hurry, making it seem like I understand, the urgency of it, even though technically I just did something. So.
So he walks past you, and he does that sort of thing that people do, and when they're if they're pissed off at you, they'll walk past you and they'll clip you on the shoulder with their shoulder. He does that, and he keeps walking. Yeah. And so you can make it back to the cargo area and just continue on your duties. You are basically prepared for receiving this shipment, and you've got like shuttles ready. They're ready to fly out and everything. So we'll go to Quick Fingers now, and you've got the Staff of Servitude, and you're stomping towards the bridge. And I wonder if you are trying to be stealthy about this.
Sure.
It is away.
Stealthy, yeah.
It is away from the bridge. It's a few minutes. So it's quite possible that you'll see crew members in the hallway as you get to the bridge. So there is somebody coming down the hallway. So you can use your combat skill to hide, or you can do something else, whatever it is, whatever you can think of.
Combat skill, okay. 13.
13. Nice. So you definitely duck into a doorway. And luckily it wasn't occupied by anybody. It was somebody's it's just a disused office area, and you hear them pass, and you manage to keep going, and you get to the bridge, no problem, with a 13 in stealth. You get to the bridge. You are standing in front of the door to the bridge. It's like a sliding door. It has a noise to it, like the Star Trek doors, and it is supposed to make some noise, right? You're supposed to be able to know when someone goes through the bridge door. It goes, it doesn't need to. It just does that. So what are you gonna do? Now that you're standing in front of the main bridge doors?
I will open the bridge doors.
Okay. You open the bridge doors, and the captain is looking over at the tactical ops station. There is a there is an officer at a console by the door, and also Jean-Baptiste was expecting something to happen, right? So Jean-Baptiste, you notice that the door opens, and you're immediately looking, and you can see at the door Quick Fingers with the staff of servitude standing in the doorway. And you can act as a party now, but the officer by the door notices that and says, yells over to the captain. And so what are we doing now?
I would like to see if I can figure out how to use this thing on the officer who's yelling at the cap.
Okay. What? So you're going to use the staff of servitude?
Yes.
Here in the bridge. Okay. Yes. Awesome. So.
Oh, that's fucking wonderful. Okay.
So, you're standing in the doorway, and you are point the end of the trident towards the officer in front of you. We'll say he's a bit to your right, and you're fiddling around with it. There's no buttons or anything, right? But there is this kind of mechanism that slides on one of the handles. So you slide that, and you can see you've gotten it to work. You can see that there's this it's like wavering in the air in front of you in a cone shape, and the captain and the tactical officer are off to the left. They're now looking at you. But you can see that as this thing hits the officer in front of you, and there are more officers behind. They become just slack-jawed and dead-eyed, and their eyes just water up, and you can see that there's drool coming out of their mouth. And this is the field of suggestibility that's that the staff of servitude just emanates. You can see that it's directed, so that's useful as a kind of a weapon. And I need to know where not where the nav map is, because I feel like that's in the sort of back of the main bridge area, but central. right? What I need to know is if you also, Jean-Baptiste, get caught in this zone of suggestibility.
No.
But
No, he's not.
no,
He sees that thing. He's like, nope.
I need you to roll a combat's roll to move out of the way.
This is gonna be like the one thing he freaking fails.
Yeah.
Watch. Actually, he got an 8.
That is just enough. That is just enough. Look at that. Perfect. So, you managed to step to Quick Fingers' left, and just you can see this wavering in the air just a few inches in front of your face, and you back up from it. And the captain has he's not too far away from the staff and Quick Fingers. He's a few feet away. We'll say probably about 10 feet away, something like that, at the tactical officer's console. And he takes out his filament whip and activates it so it starts glowing. And he whips it around. And one of the officers, not the tactical officers, but one of the officers at another console holds his wrist. He brings his wrist up, and his hand just kind of drops onto the floor, and his blood starts spurting out, and he makes this this long arc with the filaments, and he makes an attack against you, Quick Fingers. So you're going to need to make quick with those fingers, because he successfully attacks you with it.
Okay.
What are you wearing?
She has
armor-wise.
cloth armor.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm not going to take off your hand or anything like that. But there is a chance that he will damage the staff. Oh, wow. Okay. He does. He damages the staff. He as he's whipping against you, he will do some damage to you. He'll probably take off one of your fingers and the end of one of another one. And that will be some damage. That'll be 6 damage, which is your protection score. So it just takes off like the end of your glove that you're wearing.
Okay.
And but as you're doing that, because your hands are holding the staff, it comes out and it slices off one of the spheres, the void spheres, right? And
Okay.
the void sphere falls to the ground, and it is a sphere, so it starts rolling. This sphere that is projecting a cone of stupidity, basically, starts rolling, and this cone starts going end over end inside the bridge. And everybody here is going to need to make a combat roll to avoid this. Yeah.
Okay, 14.
Ooh. Captain just made it with a 9.
10.
10. Nice. It is now your turn. This is it's a combat. There are we'll say just about all of the officers on the bridge, except for the people involved in this fight, because we all made that combat roll, are under the influence of this suggestibility. So the captain has made his turn, his attack, and it has turned out horribly. But it is now your turn.
I will she will make a spitting sound and then a spittoon sound. So like,
yeah, of course.
and she pulls her blaster pistol out and is gonna shoot at him.
All right. So yeah, make your combat roll. You're gonna want to hit an 8.
Okay, 3 + 4 is 10.
Okay. And so
are we playing the doubles thing again?
The
Because I got 2 3s.
No, we're not doing that right now.
Okay.
It's more rules than a one shot really needs. So yeah, we'll just go with the regular results. And you've got, sorry, was it an auto pistol that you've got?
No, I got a blaster.
Oh, a blast? Jesus Christ. Okay.
Got a blaster pistol.
Yep.
All right, here we go. 3 3 5 5. So that's 16.
16. Damn. So I'm gonna need to make some rolls for endurance for this dude. And lifeblood. Honestly, didn't think it would come down to a battle between the captain and you guys. I don't know why I didn't think that.
I was literally planning around it like, oh, this will be kind of like a heist sort of thing.
Yeah,
I kind of built my whole plan around that.
And it kind of was for a
and
while.
I was like,
but it went sour.
Well, it went sour. I think it just went sour when we were just like, oh, let's just bring the trident onto the bridge of the ship and take control of the ship.
He killed my husband. He gotta die.
Yep, that's right.
Derailed it right there.
Yeah. So, how are you wounding this man? You've got your blaster out, and you've just barely managed to get past his armor and his endurance points. So he has a minor wound now.
Okay, I will. He tried to. He shot the orb, and it took the finger off my glove. And she laughs, and she pulls out a blaster, and she goes, "You want to shoot hands?" And she'll shoot him in the hand.
Right. Yep. Okay. So he's got. Is it his? It's his. Not his offhand.
Whichever one was pointing towards me.
Yeah. Okay. So you shot him right in the hand. There's his filament whip gets dropped, and this thing has barely any weight to it. Like the actual filament itself has basically no weight to it. So, but the handle does. Yeah, basically the handle does. So when he drops it, it hits the ground and flips around, and the filament goes wild because of that. We'll figure that out in a second. We'll figure that out in just 1 second.
Okay.
Is there anything that you would like to do, Jean-Baptiste, at this point? because it is technically your turn in combat.
So what just happened was Quick Fingers just shot the captain.
Yep.
Is he dead yet?
He is not dead yet. He has suffered a wound. He's dropped his filament, and you can see it, his filament whip, and you can see the handle has hit the ground, and the filament itself is starting to arc through the air.
He immediately Jean-Baptiste is going to get since it's starting to arc in the air, he's going to do a knowledge check and see if it's overloading.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Do a knowledge check.
Kind of like a quick glance.
Right.
Uh, 5 plus 3 is 8, plus another 3, that's 11.
Yeah. You know that this is acting just as it should. It's not overloading. And you know, as soon as you mentioned it might be overloading, I rolled for it. But but it is not overloading, and but what it is doing is it is acting without the captain's control, right? So it is if the handle is flipping, then the filament will come right after it, right? And with an 11, you can tell that one of the crew members is going to be in the line of this whip, and he's going to be basically cut in half from this thing if nothing is done. And you know these crew members, they're not I mean, they're all terrible people, just like you are. So if you want to let him get cut in half, that's cool. If you want to save him, that's cool, and you can do something else if you're not saving him.
He is not going to be saving him. He is if it's not overloading, he's still going to start heading out. He's still going to start heading towards Quick Fingers, and he still has his SMG on him. What he's going to do is he's going to check behind them, and then he's going to check behind him, and he's going to where's combat?
You got your SMG.
Yeah, I have him armed with an SMG.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to figure out what would be what he would do if he would just lay down a spray of bullets, or due to what just happened with the noise and everything, if he would know that people would start coming up to where they are, like, what's going on? Why is there a firefight? So
right. You are fairly certain that there is going to be an automatic alarm once people start dying. It's a feature of the life support.
All right, then what he's gonna do is, since the captain has been shot and he dropped his whip, what he's going to do is he's going to take his SMG and he's going to shoot the whip out of the way as fast out of the path of the stumbling crew member, so that he doesn't get cut in half and thus trigger the alarm.
Right.
He's just going to shoot. He's just going to get it away so that they can back out of the room and start heading down to the pots, heading down to any smaller starcraft.
Right. Okay.
That they can use.
All right. So
this is the plan B action going.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you've got your SMG, and you're going to lay down that spray of bullets so that you can fire that dangerous whip just off into a corner where it's not going to be just flipping around and killing people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, make your combat roll.
Nine.
9 does it. So you manage to hit this thing. It's it's not super accurate because it's an SMG. It's like short barreled and everything. So it's probably the third and fourth bullet that hits. So you lay that down and it deflects the arc of the whip. It does in fact hit the crew member, but it's not a fatal blow. It leaves a big sort of line down their chest. And if you can imagine, like when you've cut yourself with a razor or something, and you can just see the line, and then the blood starts pooling. That's what happens to this crew member. Their armor opens up. There's this line down their chest, and that's when the blood starts pooling and then coming out. They are under this suggestibility field, so they don't even cry out. This looks like a terrible thing to have happened, something that should hurt quite a lot. But they don't even cry out. They just kind of look down at their bloody body and just stand there, sort of kind of waiting for something, you know. But the handle of the filament whip and the whip itself goes off into a corner, and you can see the light dying from it. And you start moving off towards Quick Fingers to stand beside her so you can back out. And the captain holding their hands, you can see he's still got the big old pistol right at his side. He's not reaching for it, but he's holding his hand, and as he does so, he looks through the hole in his hand at you and makes a gesture that is the sign of a mark, like a pirate's mark, upon both of you, and you manage to back out of the room. So what now?
He wishes he had like a grenade so that he could just chuck it in there and lock it in there with them. But what he does is he is effectively, once they've locked out of the room, he pretty much seals the bridge.
Right.
Wait, I'm locking out too?
Yeah, as soon as if you're out with him, Quick Fingers, he's going to seal the doors so they can't follow him.
I think Quick Fingers is saying that her motivation is that she wants to kill this captain because of revenge.
Yeah, she's a revenge person.
Yeah. So does that change what you're doing then at that point, Jean-Baptiste?
Yeah, I would have shared that.
Well, all they have is the stupid ball that's just kind of going around expending its energy right now.
Yeah.
It means he can't pick it up without making himself stupid.
Well, it's a cone. You could get behind it.
Yeah, it is emanating in a cone. The problem is that it's rolling, and this cone is going end over end.
Yeah. So if he's not gonna try and pick it up, still.
Yeah. Okay.
It's too much of a risk.
Mm-hmm.
So what he's gonna do is he's gonna stay outside of the room and act as guard and kind of keep guard.
Yeah.
While he waits for Celeste or
Yeah.
he's gonna start looking up on the crew manifest the manifest
Yeah.
to see if they have a spare like not a star cruiser like a starship.
Yeah.
But just like a small starcraft that they can use that can just traverse to the next station.
Let me see if there's exactly what you want. There is not exactly what you want, but there are shuttles there are fighters there. They don't have FTL, but they would be enough to get you away from this situation. And the captain, instead of I said that he looked at you through the hole in his hand and gave you a pirate's mark. That still happens, and he uses his whole turn to do that. And I rolled to see if he managed to escape the rolling cone of stupidity, and he did. So it is now your turn again, because he is not going to. He doesn't want to die. He's not going to keep fighting. He doesn't know that you are here to kill him. He thinks you want the staff. Right. He thinks you want riches, just like he does. Just like all the pirates basically do, right? So he's not fighting back. He's wounded, and he is just waiting for you to back out of the room, as he expects you to do.
Okay, so Lucy Quick Fingers McShooty will look at him and say, "This is for Flavio McShooty," and she will fire again at him, like mid torso.
Right. Wow. Okay. So as you say, Flavio McShooty, his eyes widen in understanding, and you get your shot off,
and
with the blaster.
Okay. 11
hits. Yep.
Okay. Come on.
Just roll 4 1s.
Well, I did a little bit better than that. 11.
Oh my god.
7, 20.
20. Jesus Christ! You blow a hole. You blow a hole in this guy's chest.
5, 3.
You blow a hole in his chest, and his cloth. He's got his cloth armor on. He's just wearing cloth. He's got like this really nice suit on with a cape and everything, right? But it's just cloth. It mitigates 6 points of damage. He had 14 points of lifeblood, so you put a hole in his chest, and he is obviously dead. He slumps to his knees, and he reaches forward towards you, and he says, Flavio was weak, before slumping forwards onto his face. All of the other people in the room there are just watching because they're affected by the zone, right? And even one person near the captain says out loud, he says, weak. He just repeats the last thing that he heard.
I will, if I still have ability to do something, I will walk over to them like all the other officers, and I look at them and I go, Abraham Alfonso killed the captain.
Perfect. And so they all kind of look around in a confused manner, and they start saying, Abraham Abraham Alfonso killed the captain. Abraham Alfonso killed the captain. And it's just this, they're just regurgitating this sentence over and over again. And this is when you can leave if you want to.
Yes.
Okay, so you leave, the doors close, the captain is dead, you've got your revenge, you've got the spear with at least one, it's not a spear, it's a staff. You've got this staff with at least one sphere on it. So it still works, it's not going to be very strong. But it's still in working condition. You know that you've got Celeste in the cargo room. You know that shipment's not coming. So what are you going to do now?
I recommend everyone pile onto a fighter, and we all immediately head for the nearest planet to hide out on.
Right.
As I leave, though, I will hand the. She didn't really care about having the trident, so she'll hand it to Professor Johnny, and here you go, Doc.
John Baptiste.
And she will start walking toward the cargo bay.
Right.
To get Celeste.
All right. So. Celeste, are you going along with this plan to escape as well?
I mean, pretty much, because it just seems like they've done all. That was kind of the reason why I went back to the cargo hold, was just to make it look suspicious for me.
Absolutely. And the shuttle bay, the one that is housing the fighter, is actually a part of the cargo bay. There's a separate level where they keep the shuttles and smaller ships. So they are going to they make it to the cargo bay. They've sent you a message ahead of time saying meet us on the shuttle level. And so you excuse yourself. Need to use the washroom again. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Make it to the shuttle level, and you guys meet a couple of crew members on the way. But you're using your staff of stupidity left and right just to make it through, and you push through. You manage to get on the fighter. It's a little tight in there because it's a 2-person fighter, but there are 3 of you, right? So it's like one of you has to kind of crouch into this like space behind one of the seats, and you manage to get the door to the outer physical door to open, and there's like a force field wall keeping all of the atmosphere in. You manage to get out, and there's now like laser fire from behind you, like kind of uselessly hitting the fighter because it's shielded, right? You get out and you start flying through the stars towards the next planet. The next planet that you think you can hide out on, and that's it. You've done exactly what you wanted to do. You got revenge. You got the spear. You caused chaos. The refinery is in fact intact. Well, mostly intact. There's a few holes in it, but they are not going to they're not going to be robbed today. So you've had your mutiny, you've killed the captain, but you've got this you get this strange feeling, that something's not right. That's the 2 of you who are in the on the bridge when you got this pirate's mark, you both notice that your left hand has this. I guess it's your right hand because the captain was right-handed. Has this this black mark right in the middle of your hand and on the back of your hand too, right? So the palm and the back of your hand, as if just like the hole that you blew in the captain's hand. And you've heard of this. It is something that is just like basically an old wives' tale for pirates. But you now feel maybe there's something to this. Maybe we are now cursed. And you fly off into the night, into the stars, successful with your lives intact. And that's the end. You've done it. Awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I just mainly the reason I got such high rolls was because I was just playing to my strength.
Yep. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I feel like that's exactly what should happen. When some of the rolls could be at a -3, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's what we've got. How are you feeling about that? I know I was rambling on a little bit. Maybe I stunned you a little bit with my monotone, but
No, I liked it.
This was just really funny. I was a little surprised at just everything kind of going on, but it was just really funny.
Yeah, I like it. I look forward to possible future adventures out Fingers McShooty.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to, if we're playing this again and you want to bring your character back, I would like to do more one shots as well. So yeah, for sure. Quick Fingers McShooty, absolutely. I can't get over that because I named another character Mick Ember just yesterday.
Yep. She's amazing.
Yeah. All right. So I'm glad we had fun. I had fun. And I guess we'll head off and I'll see a couple of you that's Smiles and Amy on Wednesday. And Yuri, if you would like to sorry, not Yuri, Young. If you would like to play with us again, absolutely, we'll work out another time, another game, and we'll do that. So thanks for coming.
Of course, thank you for having me. It was great to play with you again, even as me being a player and just having fun.
Yeah.
So.
All right, everyone.
All right. I'll see you later. Bye now.
Later, Gators.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.